that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
Burrito Express is proud to announce that we are the official burrito spot of ProView Networks. Since 1982, with 6 locations serving Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, and Roswell, the question is, red or green? Let's go to the burrito. Visit letsgototheburrito.com and order now.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Raising Cane's invites you to grab life by the chicken fingers. So get out there. Be you. Do you. Embrace whatever makes you, you. All while enjoying Raising Cane's hand-battered cooked-to-order chicken fingers, crispy crinkle-cut fries, buttery Texas toast, and that secret recipe cane sauce that makes everything that much better. So go on, savor the day.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks. Burrito Express is proud to announce that we are the
San Pedro text line 505-246-0610. Meineke on San Pedro, doing car care right.
Got a text that says, I'm surprised all these people are hammering her like this. We were all done with Mike. My response is, I think everyone, even these emailers and texters, were done with Mike, but they were sold on Elena Lovato bus, don't you think? I was only named, like none of us, very few of us are really well versed in the women's college basketball coaching. And, your points can be read. I'm not going to promise you she's going to be great. But when Eck was hired 14, 15 months ago, were you convinced he was the guy? When Olin was hired, were you convinced he was the guy? She may or may not. I don't know. But she's certainly within that framework, is she not?
She is.
Hoser, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. How you living?
Good morning, fellas. Hugs and kisses to everyone.
Oh, Terry, that's nice of you.
April
No,
Fools.
it's not Terry, but I like those things. I like the colors and the different, nuances that they have that you can tell. Oh, I know who this is. But I'm with you, man. It's like I think just the way college has changed as far as how coaches and players, the longevity of it. Yeah, you just never know. And so the same thing with maybe like you're always wanting that old guard or something. And I don't know if it really translates into the women's game because, like you said, we just don't know. We're not very well versed in the coaching in women's basketball. But yeah, I'm with you. I mean, you just gotta just wait and see what happens. I mean, everybody needs that first shot. Everybody needs that opportunity to kind of prove themselves, and we'll see where it goes. I mean, I think about myself. When I got hired as a producer, nobody knew who I was besides the caller. But hey, you guys gave me a chance, and it worked out. So so we'll just see what happens. And Tiger Woods, really quick, man, I'm just glad that guy's okay. He's gotten some second chances. Hopefully, he's going to take advantage of this stuff because, this really could have been bad. He could have hurt himself. He could have hurt somebody else, and that wouldn't have been good. So I'm glad that he's getting that help. And hopefully, he can overcome the addiction. But yeah, it's tough. It's going to require definitely some support group around him. And so hopefully he has that in his life. And, the best for old Tiger Woods, y'all.
Right on. See you, Hoser. Good to hear you. Who's that guy? He produced our show? I know who he is. Hey, I'm just looking at Linden Woods. That's where Amy Egan was last year. Like what they did. They played Baylor. Lost by 13. It was a true road game. They beat Oral Roberts on the road. They beat Kansas City on the road. They were 1-0 against Mountain West team, new Mountain West. They played Hawaii at Hawaii. Beat them 68-59. Beat Drake. Lost to Iowa. Ooh, 102-68. Iowa was good. We'll see, man. We're going to meet her, though. Looking forward to having this conversation. Amy Egan is the new Lobo women's basketball coach. She was announced yesterday. She is going to join us next. Looking forward to the conversation. JJ's going to spend some time with her, huh?
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, Amy Egan next. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. ProView Networks. Following sponsors. This broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive. German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684. Visit HansWhitlerAuto.com. I'd like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics. International Protective, a proud supporter of ProView Sports Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS, resident and commercial security service in the Albuquerque area. Info, please call 5-897-2420 or visit internationalprotective.com.
Eagle Greens and Turf are a family-owned and operated business with over 25 years of experience in the home improvement industry. They are your exclusive dealer of Celebrity Green synthetic putting greens and artificial turf, They also have artificial turf that is specifically designed for your pets. Eagle Greens and Turf are proud sponsors of ProView Networks and can make your lawn green all year long at 505-273-2744.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are one Eastern.
Burrito Express is proud to announce that we are the official burrito spot of ProView Networks. Since 1982, with 6 locations serving Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, and Roswell, the question is, red or green? Let's go to the burrito. Visit letsgototheburrito.com and order now.
Raising Cane's invites you to grab life by the chicken finger.
Ohio Valley Conference regular season champions. She was the coach of the year in that conference in the 2024-2025 season. The WBCA Division II Coach of the Year in 2021. It's the opening drive. Thanks for finding us this morning on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal, Jeff Symbieta, alongside the voice of Lobel Women's Basketball, JJ Buck. And it is our pleasure to introduce to us and to you at the same time the new head coach of Lobel Women's Basketball. Amy Egan joins us this morning on the sports animal. Good morning, Amy. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing fabulous, of course, and I'm so excited to meet you guys and be here with you this morning and share a little bit about me and our program and, you know, getting down there and what we're going to do down there.
Well, first off, congratulations. And I don't know how much you can share on the process and why this job was something that interests you, but as much as you can share on the process. And I know you were really happy at Lindenwood. You had a lot of success, but why did this job intrigue you and how was this process for you?
Yeah, you know, it's crazy because the process of all, as you guys know, happens really, really fast. Yep. And so it kind of is a whirlwind of stuff. But, you know, I've had a lot of success and had a lot of success at Lindenwood. And, you know, and in all honesty, a lot of people called and a lot of people I said no, and it just wasn't the right fit. And then when New Mexico called and I started researching it and looking into it and then got on the phone with Amy and Ryan and had the opportunity to get to know them some and them share the vision of the program and some more information about New Mexico. And then when I got on campus and saw the facilities and learned more about the tradition, I mean, it was just a job that I was really, really drawn to and a job that I just couldn't turn down. You know, the community support, from the community support there to the tradition, like I said, to New Mexico University and the Albuquerque area. I mean, it is just an amazing opportunity for me.
You know, a lot of the locals say, you know, what does she know about New Mexico? How can she recruit here? We've gotten, you know, the concerns, and I know you hear that. I don't know what is requisite for a position. I don't know, you know, if you check every box or you check most of the boxes, however somebody goes and hires. But what did you know about the program, the area, and you talked a little bit. You said you learned specifically some of the stuff that drew you here, as far as some familiarity, or if there's any, with the area, with the program, with the league.
Yeah, absolutely. So, with recruiting and concerns with recruiting and those kind of areas with it, first and foremost, we'll do anything local. We'll do anything in New Mexico and we'll build those relationships really, really fast. That's also part of getting people on your staff that possibly have some of those relationships already with it. So we're working on a lot of those situations, but that doesn't take long. With our personalities and who we are as people and us wanting to build those relationships, it'll happen really, really fast. And, right now, when you talk about the recruiting world and you talk about the portal and you talk about, all those kind of things, those relationships can happen really fast. And you got a little bit more of, state to state and across the country recruiting that's possible. And, I've been in basketball now and coaching for, 17 years. So I have a lot of relationships with people, not just in Missouri, not just in the Midwest, but all over the country. So no concerns there at all with what we're going to do in those areas. When you talk about the selling of New Mexico, I mean, it's going to be a great sell for kids, from the tradition that has been established there, to the support for women's basketball, to the support from the athletic department to cut down nets and win championships. I mean, that's who we are. That's our standard. That's what we've done in the past, and that's what we look to continue to do. So I think there's no better tool to sell to kids, to get kids down there to want to play in front of those fans than New Mexico, and I'm really excited to get started with that process.
Amy Egan is with us. She's the new Lobel women's basketball coach with us on the Sports Animal.
And Coach, you look at your resume and what you've been able to do, excel at so many different levels, and then the transition from D2 to D1. What is some of the differences in that regard to the resources you have available and what you're going to be able to work with now, say, at the University of New Mexico?
Yeah. Going from D2 to D1, when you talk about the coaching side of things, it's not any different. The X's and O's, you continue to teach and build and grow and all those kind of things. I would say the biggest difference would be just some of the money, now getting into the portal with NIL and those kind of things with it. But we've been lucky enough that we've been able to start that process, and getting engulfed in it at Lindenwood, that we feel really, really comfortable with that. And we're excited for that and what that's going to look like down there. So, I think, when you look at that part of it, that's probably the biggest difference between D2 and D1 at this point. But I know, the world that we live in with coaching is changing every single day. I'm telling you, it's an everyday process. It's an everyday learning experience. And we love the challenge of that, and we're excited to take that on.
Of course, you had an outstanding playing career that people are going to learn about. But as a coach, what drives you when you look at when you got in the game, St. Ambrose, to where you are now? What drives you? What fuels you?
Yeah, my passion for the game, my passion for people. I love building relationships. I just love that part of it. And when I can help a young woman come in and grow, I love seeing that process. And so, we're going to work really hard to grow them, not just as players, but as people and as students. And we're going to challenge them in all those areas of their life. But that's what really fuels me. I love that. I love to see the success that they can have, which, I think for us, it's about the people and bringing great people in and great people in our program as a staff and players that's really helped us be successful.
She's Amy Egan, Lobel women's basketball coach, with us on the Sports Animal. Amy, you talk about relationships and personalities, and right away, recruiting is personalities, it's relationships, it's people.
Yeah.
And you've got to try to re-recruit the roster that's here. I'm going to imagine that's top priority. And then are there some players that maybe follow you? I'm not asking for specific names, but as far, I'm going to guess you've spent the last X number of hours, 18, 24 hours, just completely running through staff and player options. So how does the recruiting process immediately begin?
Yeah, I mean, it's the most important thing, when you take a new job, is really recruiting the new roster that's there, going through those kids, having conversations. Again, it's like speed dating, just like with the portal, and so we're getting after that right now. So we're looking at the current roster and what that looks like, and then portal opens on Monday, and so we'll reevaluate after we finish with the kids on roster there where we're at, what pieces we're missing to fit our system, and hit that portal really, really hard here in the next couple of weeks with stuff. So I think, it is a process you're talking about. I think the two most important things are the roster and building your staff strategically. And we're working really, really hard to do that right now.
Yeah, JJ is the voice of Global Women's Basketball, and he's talked quite a bit about the potential of what's coming back. I don't know if you've had those conversations, and then, anybody on the staff that you might retain, which would potentially help retain the roster.
Yep. We're sorting through all that right now with it. So definitely talking to people and like I said, having conversations with kids and that. But they won a lot of games last year, and so they definitely have some talent there that we can work with. But we know there's some pieces with our system that we're going to implement that we're going to have to add to that. Speaking of your system, what's an Amy Egan basketball team look like? Yeah. Well, you're going to see a fun brand of basketball. I think the first thing that you're going to see are kids that are going to play really, really hard and are going to be gritty in everything we do. I'm a big believer in defense wins championships, and you finish that with rebounding. So that's where we'll start with it. But I'll tell you what, we implemented a new system offensively in the last couple of years at Lindenwood, and we've had some unbelievable success with that. And if you look at some of the numbers where we finished, 50 in the 50s in offensive efficiency, and I think we're number 7 in the country in 3-point shooting percentage. That adds a fun brand of basketball as well. So we definitely want to be great at both sides of the ball, but it's going to start on the defensive side of things. And so you're going to see a lot of kids play with a lot of heart and a lot of passion, and the same thing from our coaching staff.
The Mountain West is going to look different next season with the departure of, some really good programs, but you were able to have a top 100 team last year in the Ohio Valley Conference. And I know looking a few steps ahead, what kind of schedule do you think you're going to need to have non-conference wise, to be able to kind of have this team where they need to be come conference play?
Yeah, so a lot of the schedule is already done for us, and I haven't deep dove into that and what that looks like in regards to, quads, quad 4, quad 3, those kind of things yet with that, but we're going to get to that really quickly here. I know we have to pick up, I think we're probably 3 or 4 games short still, so we'll look at that, we'll evaluate that, and then we'll add some games that we feel like we need to add into the mix there. I think scheduling is a really, really big part of being successful. And so, part of the reason we're in the top 100 at Lindenwood is because we were very strategic with that. And so it will be something that's important, something that I haven't had a chance to deep dive into, but we'll get to here pretty quickly.
Yeah, I saw you played Baylor last year, you played Iowa last year, and there's always that mix, right? But as you look at what this league is, and it's perennially been a one bid league, and then certainly it's going through the evolution now. Do you think of it in terms of I need to position myself for 3 days or 4 days in March? Or do you look at it and saying, if we don't win there, I want to have an opportunity to be considered for an at-large bid?
No, we're positioning ourselves for March. Our standards are to win championships, and get to the NCAA tournament and be successful there. So that's where we're striving towards every single day in everything we do.
Yeah, Amy Egan's the new women's basketball coach at UNM with us just for a few more minutes. So what got you into coaching? Who are your mentors? Like you played basketball, you love the game. Obviously, we kind of always follow our passions, and if we're lucky enough to follow passions and make a career out of it, it sounds like that's where you are. Why coaching? Why women's basketball? Who are some of your mentors?
Yeah. It's funny. Brian asked me a little bit of that when I was there, and I'm kind of old enough that I'm becoming a lot of a mentee now instead of mentee.
Yeah, it's funny how that changes, mentors, right? So it's funny how you get to that point.
Myself, but that's kind of the truth. When I first got into coaching, I worked for at a Division II, and I worked for a guy named Larry Justin. He was just an exceptional coach at Quincy University, and had great success building it from the ground level up. And and then eventually got out of college coaching. Was won some state championships at the high school level. He was a big time mentor for me, you know. And then throughout my career, I've had I think Molly Miller. I worked for Molly Miller, who's now the Arizona State coach. And I had the opportunity to work with her and learn from her and learn some great things defensively from her with stuff. So I would say those two, immediately pop out. And then, like I said, I feel like now I have a lot of players that are in coaching, so I'm trying to mentor them and trying to help them grow and, have that impact on women in our roster that they want to get into coaching.
No, Coach, lastly, for me, you look at the growth of the women's game, and it's exploded in popularity over the last few years. We see the talent at the top, how good it is. What's it been like from your perspective, just watching where women's basketball is, and then what the pit could be, even with the foundation it has? There's still more that this program can be.
Yeah. How exciting. I mean, I think it's just a great time to be involved in women's basketball. And I think that, the skill level and the talent level is just getting better and better. And that's a lot of the reason that it's happening. I think Caitlin Clark helped start a lot of that. And I just think it's really taking off right now. Now's the time to be in women's basketball. And, we're going to have that same passion and that same growth for our kids. Man, the pit, you talk about one of the top, 13 venues in the nation. And the things I've seen just with some of the videos and that with it, I just look so forward to getting involved in the community and getting those people out there and getting them in the stands. And I think you talk about the experience for the young ladies that you coach, man, what an experience to play in front of that community. And so we look forward to building those relationships, to packing that arena, and having everyone come out and support them.
Yeah, there's something about walking down the ramp in the pit, and especially, and you'll get it when when there's people in there and it starts to fill up. And I'm going to assume you walked down the ramp when you were here and kind of explored the facility and did that. But I look at the opportunity, and you talked about support. I'm going to ask you a little bit. I think our audience would be interested, because this was Ryan Berriman's first hire as the athletic director. And Amy Began has played a big part in this as the SWA, and she played for this program, and she's extremely passionate about it, and she was part of it when the fan base was extremely passionate. While you're trying to sell them on the job and what you can do, they also have to sell you. And you talked about support. So specifically, as you went through this process with Ryan, with Amy, with that selection committee, what is it that if you can get into some specifics as far as what sold you that, this is the right time to leave, the right place to go?
Yeah, I'm a really big people person, and I think you get a really good feel, talking with people, spending some time with people, because you want to work around people that have the same passion as you, right? That have the same love for women's basketball, that wants women's basketball to be successful. And I would tell you, besides all the other things, besides seeing the pit and how amazing that is, and all those kind of things. The people there are what really, really put it overboard for me. I know I'm Ryan's first big hire, and I'm not going to let him down. We're going to do great, great things for him. And, it is very, very evident how passionate Amy is about that program. And I love that, I can be surrounded by people that care as much about that program as I'm going to care about that program. That's just really, really important to me. And there was just no doubt after spending time with them that it was just the great fit for me because of, the facilities, because of the area, because of the community support, and because of them and the athletic department, their vision, their mission, and who they are with it. So again, I think that was, the big thing. You always got to kind of go with some gut stuff too, with it, and just being around them really just, put it overboard for me.
I'm going to assume they took you for a good meal or two when you were here.
Yeah. We had some really good food down the valley, and it was really, really good. And I look forward to exploring some more. And I didn't get to do a ton of that, but I can't wait to get up there and just engulf myself in that community.
Appreciate the time, Amy. Congratulations. I know you got a lot going on. Look forward to meeting you in person, but thank you for spending some time with us this morning here on the Sports Animal.
Thank you guys so much. I look forward to talking with you guys more.
Be well. She is, and congratulations.
Thank you.
She is Amy Egan, the head coach for Lobo women's basketball. Obviously, she doesn't want a little pint-sized arena that some of these people want. for her to go playing on campus, right?
Right size it.
Yeah, pint size, right size. What was that? The word right size until they grow out of it and have to go back into the pit. It's the opening drive. Respond to what you heard from Amy Egan on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal is your